Okay, so we saw how a MOSFET will operate. Okay, so we have seen the basic operating regions of a MOSFET. Now there is one more transistor in MOSFET. We had seen NMOS. Similarly, there will be PMOS. Now PMOS also will operate exactly similar to that of a NMOS. Okay, but everything is changed in the opposite direction. Okay, so let us see what is that. See, you see this PMOS here will have generally this have this symbol. Okay, see, this will be still be gate. Source is the upper one is the source. Okay, drain is the bottom one. Now source will be at the higher voltage. Okay, this will be connected to the main supply. Okay, so what is this now? Vg and Vs. Okay, and Vt threshold is also negative. Okay, it will be minus zero point 0.5. Okay, so if Vg if Vs is zero point 0.9. Okay, Vs is zero point 0.9 volts, then Vg should be what? Vg should be say zero point 0.5, zero point 0.4. Okay, then VGS is what? Zero point 0.4 minus zero point 0.9, that is minus zero point 0.5. So if you make this as zero point 0.3, then VGS will be minus zero point 0.6. Okay, if we take the modulus so that the negative sign is gone, then we can say VGS is greater than VT. Okay, so VTP is okay, VGS, correct. VGS is greater than VTP. Okay, so here this is the condition. Okay, for saturation. Okay, for triode region, VGS should be greater than VTP. Okay, so this VGS should be greater than this. Next, VDS should be VDS. Okay, here this VDS should be less than VGS minus VTP. So if you have to take modulus for everything. Okay, so here there is no modulus NMOS. Here there, for everything there is modulus. If you take modulus, is this and this both are same. Okay, so try to do this on your own, uh, and try to get the behavior. Else I think I have already uploaded a video of my old videos. Okay, new videos I have not done. Old video PMOS also I have added. Okay, PMOS characterization, the name will be that. Okay, check that. First you try to do this on your own. Okay, in LT Spice try to do that. There might be, so here you should change this to PMOS. Okay, when you work with NMOS, this will be NMOS. When you work with PMOS, this will be PMOS, and threshold will be minus minus. Okay, this should be like this, minus will be PMOS. Okay, that is one change. Other than that, you have to replace this NMOS with PMOS. So what you should do? PMOS. Okay, you should put a PMOS. That's it. Okay, replace this with NMOS and PMOS. Okay, try to do this. We will go ahead now. See, one of the important behavior that we have of a MOSFET is it has transconductance. What is transconductance? We should understand it very nicely. Transconductance is that behavior because of which current is getting converted to voltage. Okay. We input is our voltage. Okay. Sorry, voltage is getting converted to current. Okay. Um, our input to MOSFET is a voltage. Why voltage? MOSFET, what we apply is VGS. Okay, mainly what we apply is VGS, that is voltage. What we get out of it is this current ID. Okay, so input is voltage, output is current. Okay, voltage to current conversion, that is called as transconductance. Input is voltage. Now wait. Input is voltage, this one VGS, output is current. This ratio what we get is called as transconductance. Okay, current to voltage to current divided by voltage is transconductance. V by I is resistance. Okay, V by I is resistance. V by I is resistance. I by V is transconductance. Okay, so higher the transconductance, uh, it is better. Okay, so what this mean? If this value of gm is bigger, that means for a small change in voltage you are seeing a bigger change in current. Okay, so if you have higher and higher gm, it is nice. Okay, so and why we operate most of our analog circuit in most of the thing in analog circuit is we use our device in saturation region. Okay, most of our operations are in saturation region, so we will try to always operate in this region. Okay, in this region we will try to operate. Okay, and in this region our device is in saturation region. Why we go for that is in saturation region we will get maximum transconductance. Okay, we will get maximum transconductance when we are in saturation region. That is why since GM is high, we prefer to go and work in that particular in that region, in mainly in analog circuits. Okay, transconductance is defined as the ratio of change in drain current to the change in gate to source voltage for a constant drain source voltage. Okay, and this is that graph. Okay, we can also see this graph. Let us see how to observe this graph. So what we must do now is we must measure current and id varying VGS. So yesterday what we have done here is, sorry, we have measured current only, but sweeping this, now we will keep this constant, this guy constant. Okay, so what we will do, let's come here. So for primary source we will make as V1. Okay, first source we will make V1. So V1 should be kept constant. Okay, so we will change V1 uh, and we will sweep it to say different values. Okay, so V1.6, no, so let it be point 0.6 start value. Okay, this will be V2. V2 will be say point. See, let us see the plot ones. Okay, let us see. 0 to 1 in steps of point 1. Okay, let us see. Okay, you can see it's very light here. Okay. What the color of this is? Okay. But wait, I am not getting the. Okay, I have to mention the W by L ratio. Wait. W by L ratio I have we had not mentioned yesterday. So generally we can start with say zero point 0.5 micro length and 1 micro width. Okay. Okay, so this is our thing. Let me see. It should be kept constant. It should not vary. So we will only vary V2. We will not do anything. Okay. V2. Let it be 0.9. Okay. So now let me try to vary it into two steps. 0.4. Stop value 0.9. Increment in 0.5. Both are matching here. Okay. Wait. Okay, the plot is fine, but I wanted to see multiple things. Wait. VGS, correct. VDS. VDS variation will not affect much. Okay, that is true. Uh-huh. Okay. So if I have to do this, I have to add lambda here. Okay, wait. Wait. 1 second. Okay. Hmm. Okay, fine. This is okay. Now, I will explain this. There is something called as channel length modulation. Okay, we should know that to understand this further. I will explain you slowly. Okay, first I'll explain this graph. What we are doing. Okay, so what is this graph here? In the previous graph, what we have seen, we are changing VDS. This is the graph where VDS is getting changed, keeping VGS constant. Okay, this VGS is constant. Okay, so keep VGS as one value, change VDS, and see the current behavior. What you will get is this plot, one plot. Then again change VGS, keep it constant, then vary VDS, you will get this graph. Then again change VDS, keep it constant, and then vary VDS, you will get this graph. Okay. In this case, in this graph, we are keeping VDS constant. Okay. And then we are varying VGS. Then you will get this kind of graph. Okay. In this graph, what we see is the small change in VGS, we will get a bigger change in current. Okay. See this small change here. This is very small, no? This case, this is small. This is big. Okay. So that is transconductor. So there is some amplification kind of thing. Okay, you did a small change, and if you are getting a bigger change, that is good. Okay, now but this is in form of current. Okay, later we will convert this current into voltage. We will see that. Now what is this id and what is this delta vgs? So if you take id equation from this form, okay, in the previous equation we have seen current equation. Now this id, if you take this id and take this, and if you differentiate these two, what we are going to get is this equation. Okay, this will be your gm equation. This gm equation has this lambda. Okay, what is this called as channel length modulation. Okay, so ideal case, this will not be considered in our lt spice simulation. lt spice simulation, you have to mention this. Okay, this is like point 0.2 or some parameter we should mention, or else it will be considered as 0. If this is considered 0, the VDS variation will not be seen. Okay, in our plot I tried to vary VDS. Even then this plot was coming at the same point. If lambda is present, one plot will come here, second plot will come here, like that it will be if lambda is present. Okay, I will try to show that later, but now it's fine. Okay, but gm equation is very important. What is that equation? Again we will see. Gm is given by mu n Cox W by L Vgs minus Vt into 1 by 1 plus lambda times Vds. Okay, this is also important. The same Gm equation can be represented in this form, which is equal to square root of 2 mu n Cox W by L Id and this form also, id by vgs minus vt. I think it is good that you guys can remember these three formulas. Okay, it is a nice equation to know that gm is this. Okay, next, now first step. Okay, why we are doing all this activity of working with the MOSFET? We want amplification. Okay, we want certain things to get amplified. We want to send some signal from one place to another, and we need to amplify it. Okay, how do we do amplification? That is the next question. See, there is a signal which is almost dead, or which is getting when I am speaking from here. Okay, you are able to listen the signal. How? My microphone is amplifying the signal, and it is fed to an analog to digital converter, and that digital thing is sent over the Wi-Fi, and it goes and comes to you. There will be a digital to analog conversion. Again, there will be some processing there. That digital to analog conversion, who is doing? We analog engineers are doing. Okay, analog to digital converter, who is doing? Again, a digital analog engineer does that. Okay, that signal has to be given to you, and you are listening to my voice. That is analog. Okay, so my signal actually is this. Okay, what I am speaking now, when it goes into the microphone, it will get amplified and it will be processed. Okay, and finally there will be some gain and we will get a good signal. Okay, now wait, uh, with the amplification, how to do amplification, we'll see. The next topic is amplification only. Okay, we will see that. Now before amplification, we know why we need to do amplification. How to do, we will see in some time. There is some thing called as drain to source resistance. Okay, So what is drain to source resistance means? Okay, so you have this MOSFET here. Okay, there will be some resistance offered by this drain and this source terminal. Okay, that is called as the intrinsic resistance of your transistor, the intrinsic impedance. Okay, so this is given by this thing. Okay, this is VDS, this current. If you see this resistance, this resistance which is seen is this, and we will have delta ID by delta VGS, that is your resistance. Okay, so what is that resistance? Higher the resistance, the better it is. Okay, so if you take ID and VDS, you will get that resistance. Higher that resistance, better it is for us. Okay, and that's why, see, how will this become bigger and bigger? Let us see that. See, if I have this behavior, and they if I have this behavior and this behavior, I take 2 points. Okay, I'll take 1 point here, 1 point here. Okay, see, first point is here. First point I take this. Second point, this depends if this is almost straight. Okay, this is becoming straighter and straighter, then this point will go farther and farther. Okay, if the slope is almost zero, okay, the slope is almost zero, that means our resistance is very high. Okay, it will act like a current source. Okay, this will act like current source, and this resistance RDS will be very high. Okay, but because of channel length modulation, whatever I told here, this lambda, this resistance will not be infinite. Okay, there will be some slope, and there will be some resistance which will be present. Okay, so that is called as intrinsic impedance of your transistor. Okay, this is nothing but intrinsic impedance. So what are the things you should know is about GM. What is GM? When I apply a voltage to my MOSFET, it will get converted into current, and that current to voltage ratio is GM. And the three formulas for that. Okay, good that you can remember this, memorize this nicely. Then our aim in why we are studying this is to do amplification. That is one thing. Then what is output resistance? Output resistance is nothing but ID by VDS, that is the resistance offered by our MOSFET. Now finally we are coming to a small application, and we are seeing this transistor. Okay, so first task. So now this see, imagine there is a current which is there. First let me show you how to do amplification. Okay, see, I told when we apply a voltage across this terminal VGS, a current is generated. Okay, now that current we have to pass it to some person, and see, input is voltage, I should get output also voltage. Okay, but MOSFET what it is doing? MOSFET what it is doing is I'm giving input as voltage and output it is making as current. Now I have to make again a current to voltage conversion. How do we do that? What is the thing here? If there is a resistor, okay, and I pass a current through that resistor, and if I take output from here, what I get is voltage. Okay, if there is a resistor and if I pass current to that resistor, I'll get a voltage output. Okay, if that is clear, see, if resistance is there, if a current source is present here, okay, and if the current is 4 microamps or 1 microamps, okay, this current is 1 microamp and this is 1 kilo ohm. Okay, let us make this as 1 milliamp. Okay, current is 1 milli, resistance is 1 kilo. Then what I get voltage, I into R, 1 kilo into 1 milli, 1 amp. I will get 1 amp. And where will I get that 1 amp? This resistance here. At this point, I'll get 1, sorry, 1 volt. Sorry, not 1 amp. Sorry, 1 volt I'll get. This is that point where I'll get 1 volt. Okay. Now, same thing. If this voltage is getting current, I can put a resistor here or I can put a resistor here. Okay, and if I take voltage here, I will get the same concept. Okay, I will get a current voltage here. Okay, I will also get a voltage at this point. Okay, and if I can, so based on the configurations, we can do whatever we want. Now let us see that in LT Spice. Okay, same yesterday's circuit we are now going to do. Let me zoom in. Okay, so this is VGS, NMOS, PMOS, everything is correct. Now instead of 0, I am putting 1K. 1K means 1 kilo ohm. Okay, 1 kilo ohm. And instead of DC, now I am doing a transient analysis. Okay, stop time is say 10 millisecond. 10 millisecond. I am going to stop it. Time to start saving it is 0 from 0 point. Maximum step is 1 milli. Okay, and press OK. Now instead of giving a DC source, I will try to give an AC source. Okay, sine wave I will give. Okay, DC offset I will give 0.6. Amplitude I will give 1 milli. Frequency I will give 1 kilo. Okay, I'll click OK. So now instead of this DC, this has become a sine wave. Okay, 1 millivolt is the amplitude. How this waveform will look, that is very important. Okay, first I'll run this. We'll see. This is my output. Okay, let me improve this by increasing the gain 40. It is slightly, it is not, it has not improved much. Let me reduce this from 0.6 to point. If you see this kind of waveform, you should come to tools, control panel, and you have to increase this. Okay, now we should further remove the, oh, okay, okay, from outside. This is not showing application. Video. Okay, sorry, this was okay. Sorry, I was seeing probing the wrong thing. Okay, so I am giving 1.4, okay, 1.40 to 1.4 to 2 times. I'm getting the gain. Is it 1.420? Okay, let me further increase this. Okay, so there is some gain. I'll show you what we are seeing. Hmm. Okay, so now let me explain this circuit. Okay, and what we are doing. See, in our design, we have basically three parameters. Okay, so this is your VGS. Okay, what is this VGS? The red thing is VGS. What I have given 0.55 milli and 1 milli. What is this 1 milli? What is 0.55 milli? Okay, I am taking a waveform like this. Okay, this is my ground. Okay, this is ground. Over this, there is 0.55 milli. Okay, 0.55 this one, and there is a 1 millivolt sine wave over this. Okay, this is the offset 0.55. Over this, there is a 1 millivolt sine wave. Okay, that is the signal, and I am going to see what we understood, that I apply some voltage that will get current converted into current. How do I convert that? I am using this resistor here. Okay, this is the resistor. When the current will pass through this, I am probing it from this point, that will convert the current into voltage. Okay, so that should be clear. If I pass current through my resistor, it will get converted to voltage. You should understand that thing. Okay, so now we are getting a voltage output here. This point will get a voltage output. That is this voltage output which I am getting. Okay, so what I'm observing here is, I gave a 1 millivolt signal here. Okay, so what is this sine wave? 1 millivolt. And what I'm getting here is 8 millivolt. From 960 millivolt, it has gone up to 968. So 1 volt has become 8 millivolt. So 1 millivolt signal has become 8 millivolt signal. Okay, so we did a amplification factor is 8 here. Okay, and to do amplification, what and all things I used this VGS, I used this M1 W by L ratio and R1. Okay, we will see this in detail. Now we are not done with this. Okay, now if I increase this ratio R1, you can see it will increase. Okay, from 80k I make this as 160k. Now you should see this gain doubling. Okay, so from 720 millivolts, it has gone to 736 millivolts. So 16. Now we are having amplification factor of 16. Okay. Now I will further increase this to 320k. Okay. Again, now 16 should become 32. 240 millivolt signal is going up to 272. So 272 is 240 minus 272, 32. So 32 times our 1 millivolt signal has now become 32 millivolts. Okay, so now you want to see your output. Let me see the output, input, right? Okay, this is your input signal. Okay, I'll show you this 1 second. this signal, blue one, okay, blue one is this one, okay, and your green signal is this signal, okay, red, okay. This is my output, green is my output, blue is my input. You can see my blue input from 550 millivolt, this goes up to 551 and come up to 549. So peak to peak, if you see this, it is hardly 2 millivolts, okay. This is 2 millivolts, okay. But you can see my output, it goes from 248 to up to 272, okay. 240 to 272 it goes, and it comes to 200. So nearly this 2 millivolt is going from 80, so total 80. So 2 millivolts is becoming 80 millivolts, okay, almost. So if you take 2 millivolt divided by, so 40 is my gain, almost 40 gain. So 40 gain is not very good, but still it is a good gain, okay. Now we have designed our first simple basic amplifier. And what is this called as? It is called as a common source amplifier. Why we are saying this is common source, that is secondary. First we'll see how this is implemented. Let us see, okay. Okay, so if you take this ratio here, okay, v out by v in, if you do, and if you take the output, what is v out by v in? This v out by v in, if you take, it is nothing but gm into rd, okay. This V out by V in is nothing but GM into RD. What is GM? What is RD? GM, which we have discussed some time back, this GM, uh, this GM, okay, that is GM. So your gain is dependent on AV is nothing but your gain, okay. That 40 whatever we got is that gain, okay. That is that gain, which is gm into rd. So rd is this rd. So you saw I was increasing the resistance and my gain was increasing. From initially it was 8, it became 16, it became 32. I was just increasing rd. And if I increase gm, how to increase gm? Can be increased by this formula. So if I increase w by l, my gm is also getting increased, okay. So I can increase my gain by two things. Okay, one, I can increase GM or I can increase RD. RD can be increased directly. GM, if I have to increase, I have to increase W by L ratio of this transistor M1. Okay, that is what I am doing here. Okay, so if we see again now, if I change this W by L ratio further, it will further increase. But what will happen if I keep increasing my resistance, keep increasing this? You can see my voltage here is dropping, okay. Overall my swing is increasing, but now it has come up to 232. If it further comes down, my device M1 will jump from saturation region to maybe diode region, and then slowly it will go to cutoff region. Let us try to increase further, okay. From 320 I am making this as 640, and if I try and run, you can see now this output has now become 90 millivolt, okay, and my swing is almost like zero point 0.6. So no longer amplification, why? My device is no longer in saturation region. My main aim is to keep my device in saturation region, or else you can keep it in any other region but you will not get amplification. You are getting the 1 millivolt signal what you had has become zero point 0.5 or zero point 0.4 signal, so no longer amplification. There is reverse thing which is happening, okay. So you cannot keep increasing resistance or GM by increasing W by L. If you keep increasing it, then at one point of time your device is going to come out of the saturation region. Okay, so there is a limit. So I will go back to 320K. Now you can see there is again we are back to good gain. Why we are having good gain? Let us once wait, I have to make some small change in the circuit. Okay, so what is it showing me? Okay, let me take this. So your today's first assignment is PMOS operating region you should do. Okay, that is the thing. And second assignment is common source amplifier. Okay, basic common source amplifier. Whatever I have done in the class, you have to do that. Okay. So few of you are sending the assignment. Few of you have forgotten. See, at the end, what your HOD wanted is I should put some value. Okay, so see, some people might be working hard, some people might not be working hard. Okay, so how do I know? I cannot come and see you in your house. Okay, only way I can know that is by the assignment you are doing. Okay, and some of you because of internet connection are also missing the class. Some are regular. See, at the end, I am internet issues and all. If it is there, I cannot force you to attend. If it, you can see the recorded class. So only way I will come to know if you are working or not is through the assignment. Okay, and over that, if you guys can just copy it from your friends, that is also there. Okay, that is up to you. It is your life. So, but whoever will give assignment, and coming days when I start interacting with you individually, I will come to know how much you have understood. Okay, so that is the second step. So whatever assignments are there, you do it regularly. Okay, yes. So now what is this voltage here? It is telling me 239. And what is this voltage here? 550. So if this is there, okay, so this voltage is 550. 550. And what is this voltage? 239. Okay, what is this gate? This is source, this is drain. We want to see whether my device is in saturation or not. So first condition of saturation is VGS should be greater than VT. So this is VGS. Our VT is 0.5. So first condition is met. Okay, first condition. Second condition, VDS should be greater than VGS minus VT. What is VGS minus VT? 50. VGS is 550, VT is 500. So 50 millivolt is VGS minus VT. Is 50 greater than 239? Yes. So still I have some margin here left. Okay. I can further increase up to 50 millivolt if it is there. Till then we will be getting good amplification. Okay. So I can slightly try to increase from 320. What I will do now? I will I'll further try to increase this. Okay. Now instead of 320, I'll make this as 400. Let us see. So 40 I cannot go up to 400. Okay, I will come up to 350. 350 you can see swing has further increased. Okay, it has further increased. Okay, until this guy reaches below 50 millivolt, we can do amplification. Okay, this node should not go below 50. Okay, so these are the things. Now if everything this tool will do, there is no point of analog. Your role is to do this. Okay, your role is to see that you these two conditions are met. So till then you will keep increasing so that your amplifier will give maximum amplification. Okay, so this is how you can do a basic amplifier. This amplifier, now there are like n different types of amplifiers from this. So this will be your assignment, final assignment. One of you will get, there are multiple combinations here. So seven nine variations are there. So one of you each of you will get one different type of amplifier, and there will be specification. Okay, and you should tell everything in detail, why, how, mu n, c ox, w by l, all these parameters you will tell and explain it neatly. Okay, that will be your thing. Now next step, next we will go further. So today's second assignment is clear. Hopefully this amplifier you should do. Okay, this amplifier you should do and check. So see, when you are pressing, if there is a black color mark, that means you are measuring current. Okay, and if you slightly move it, it becomes red also. Okay, when you are doing when it is becoming red, right, you will get voltage. Okay, and in order see, now it has become red here, so that means I can measure voltage. Okay, now it will measure current. If I click here, you can see this is current is 3.14 microamps. Okay, the 3.14 microamps current is coming. Now let us continue. So v out here, this v out is there, right? What is this simple thing? Okay, let us see. If I have to tell what is v out, v out is vdd minus, what is this current id, so id times rd. Okay, this, see, if there is a this is simple current division. Okay, so this is vdd minus id times rd. If you do that, you will get this voltage at this point. Okay, now vdd you already know, so let us see how that formula. See, now here, vdd is known, rd is known. What is id? Id formula we have already seen. Okay, so this, first of all, you should know this, what is this v out. You should agree with this, that this is v out. V out is equal to VDD minus ID times RD. Next step is replacing what is ID. What is ID, which we have seen in the past? ID is, since we are operating in saturation region, ID is mu n C ox W by VGS minus VT whole square. Okay, so we are here. Okay, now let us not go further into the equation. This will be your V out equation. Okay, and if you do delta V out by delta V in, if you take the differentiation, you will get Gm times Rd. Okay, that is how you can derive this. Okay. Mm, okay, so this plot is also important. I think we can see this plot. See, if we keep increasing V in, okay, uh, wait, Gm, I think this is not required right now for you guys. Okay, unnecessarily. So today we will stop at this point. Okay, There are multiple more. These are the different types of amplifiers which are there, which each one of you has to do in coming days. Okay. See, there are like multiple variants of that. So like eight to different types are there. We will do all these things slowly in the coming days. So today we will stop here, so that because more topics are there to cover. Okay, so we will stop.